Welcome to Down the Weeboo Hole. Today is going to be a little bit more creepy, kind of. Paranoia Agent will be the anime we'll be talking about today. It is a very interesting anime, very thought-provoking, and something more psychological, thriller aspect. I enjoyed it. Jordan looks very angry at me right now.
No, I'm not. I did enjoy it as well. It was tough to get through at times, but I would
watch an episode or two a day.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to go about it. Honestly, it's like you said, it's very thought-provoking, and I didn't like it because it takes very long to resolve what's actually happening.
Yeah.
And it's only once you get to the end that you understand the rest of the story.
Yeah.
And I have trouble with anime like that, but once it's actually resolved, I think it's ultimately good, right? I had the same feeling with Angel Beats for anybody that's watched that. It's a very similar feeling. You really get an idea of what's been happening the entire time once you get to the end. Or not, because that was my first reaction. Then I read something online and I was like, now it all makes sense.
Oh, okay.
But with this, I kind of figured everything out on my own.
It was fun putting all the pieces together, I found.
Yeah. When I turned on the first episode and I saw the OP...
No, I showed you the OP before.
I had already seen the OP elsewhere, and I was like, "Oh no, not this one!" It's terrifying.
It's terrifying, and it's not terrifying.
Yeah, exactly. It's
just people chuckling.
It's supposed to be happy-go-lucky, but it's something about the animation with what's happening on screen.
Yeah,
and you're just like, and the song too messes with you, and you're like. I feel really uneasy.
I skipped it every time. I'm like,
yeah,
go away,
yeah,
go away.
Yeah, I was like, nope, no more of this. That really just set me off right away. And then just the tone of the show as soon as it opens.
Dirty.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not talking about the animation. I'm talking about the actual like tone, the sound in the soundtrack, and just like the lack of dialogue. I think the frames and the animation, like how it shifts. Mainly from the main Sagi Tsukino, like how it shifts from her face to the screen and like what's happening, and then like how Moromi just hits delete and you're like, what just happened?
Yeah.
You get this feeling that something very, very uneasy, unsettling, scary is going on.
Lady's head and like
exactly.
everything.
She seems very, very
disturbed.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the word I was looking for.
And she is.
Yeah.
She's
and then
very disturbed.
You have this scene right away in the first episode as she's walking down the street. Somebody comes on rollerblades, hits her with a bat.
Yeah.
And then you're like, what just happened?
It's just a little kid. Like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, that's it. And she gets knocked out, ends up in the hospital, and then apparently this keeps happening.
Yeah, this happens to a lot of people now. Yeah. After it gets into the news report and they start talking about it, it started happening in real life.
Yeah, to more and more people. And it always seems to be people with some kind of mental issue
or a problem that they want to get out of.
Yeah, exactly, that they want solved, and basically as soon as they're hit, all of a sudden their problem is resolved.
Yeah, because they're knocked out and they can't do anything.
Is it the second episode that we get Yuichi?
Yes,
yeah, the second episode is bastard.
Yeah, Yuichi's this kid. A little shit stain.
He's just trying to be number one, and then he drags down Shogo Ushiyama with him.
Yeah.
And he thinks that he's stealing his popularity or whatever. He's kind of becoming paranoid.
Yeah,
and
because he looks like Little Slugger, which is his nickname.
Because he has golden rollerblades, just like Little Slugger.
Hat, baseball cap. He's really good at baseball too.
Exactly. Yeah. So everybody thinks that it's him, but he doesn't carry around a crooked baseball bat like Little Slugger does. And then he gets hit by... Well, actually, his buddy, he gets hit by a Little Slugger first, and then it's him later on.
No, but he's happy about it when his friend gets hit. He's like, it wasn't me.
Yeah.
I have proof.
Exactly. And then the episode after that, I believe, is Maria.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Harumi Chono.
Who we meet in the previous episode is his tutor.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I was like, what?
Yeah, that's it. And now it seems like it's all people who are starting to be related
now
to
it's
each
all
other in some
connections are happening.
Yeah, that's it. And it happens to be just coincidence.
Yeah.
But basically Little Slugger hits a bunch of people, and then he's caught. Like in episode 5.
Yeah.
And you're like, what?
Yeah, with that disgusting crooked cop.
Yeah, I
hate him so much.
Yeah, the dude that gets Harumi Chono, right? As a prostitute to come over. Yeah, okay, him. Yeah, and he steals money from a bunch of people at some point to pay off debt to the Yakuza.
Yes.
And so Little Slugger's caught, and it gets in the news, and it does look like him. Looks
does
exactly
look-
like the character that we've seen.
He's imitating him.
Yeah, exactly. And he's saying all this stuff about people that he would have hit, right?
Yeah, but he's also like, I'm a hero.
Yeah.
Fighting like
But
dragons
apparently,
and
ultimately, the only
monsters.
person that he did hit was the one with the palm tree, which was Yuichi's
Yeah.
friend, right?
Yeah.
Ushiyama.
Which makes sense in the entire grand
It does.
scheme of
It
things,
does.
which is awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
But apparently everybody else was hit by somebody else.
Yeah.
And it wasn't actually him. And we find this out because Keiichi, the inspector, gets extremely angry at him and like tosses him on the ground and is like being extremely aggressive with him. And he admits to only hitting Ushiyama. And that's it. And so like who hit everybody else, right? So I think it's Maniwa that starts going a little bit crazy.
Yeah, this is the other cop, right?
Yeah, the other cop. Maniwa starts going a little bit crazy, and then he starts doing like his own like private detective work. And he's trying to figure out who Little Slugger is.
Yeah.
And he's like freaking out about
Very
it.
noir.
Yeah, very. And the entire time, we know that something's still going on with Tsukino Sagi, the main character, because like she keeps reappearing every episode. And
Not every episode, every few episodes.
Yeah, and she was the first person to get hit. Finally, they go and see the old woman who apparently was a witness to her getting hit.
Yeah.
And she tells them no one hit her. And they're like, What? What do you mean?
Yeah.
No one hit her. And it's after that moment that we have the reveal that he only hit Ushiyama. The kid that we find, right? The false little slugger. So then stuff starts to get really weird. There's like 2 random filler episodes, I feel.
These filler episodes are ridiculous.
They're so weird.
Episode 8 is so...
What happens in episode 8?
The 3 of them are gonna suicide pact.
Oh, yeah.
Super sad.
Yeah.
And turns out they're ghosts at the end.
Yeah, exactly. They're not actually alive, and like Little Slugger doesn't like that, and he like runs away from them.
Yeah, and when he meets them, he freaks out and runs away.
That's it. They're already dead, and then
it's a whole episode is them trying to kill themselves, and like the little girl comes to kill herself too, and they're like trying to get her away.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can see like they're actually good people. They're like, we can't let you kill yourself. You're still young. You don't really know what you're doing.
That's it.
That was a really.
They all try to drink poison, I think.
Yeah, and they're like a building or like a tent, and they're like trying to gas themselves.
Yeah, and sorry, it's 3 filler episodes. The next one is all the women standing,
etc. I love that episode.
At the ETC exactly. All the women standing at the bottom, and they're talking about like
Little Slugger making up all these stories about him,
basically building him up.
Yes.
And like giving him credibility for what he's done, and then like the last one is like trying to be part of the posse. She's trying to be part of the posse.
She's like new to the
and
neighborhood.
She's like, my husband got hit by a Little Slugger, and they're like interrogating her, like, what do you mean? No, he didn't. Whatever.
It's so good.
Isn't
I love
he a
it.
writer,
I love that episode. It's so good.
Yeah, that's it. And then she finally gets back into the apartment, and he's actually
getting killed by Little Slugger.
Yeah,
and she's like, yes, I have a story to tell.
That's it.
And I'm like, that's
that's really fucked up. And then
because it's true.
Yeah, and then the last filler episode is the one with the script, right? They're making the televised series about Moromi.
Okay.
Right, and then there's this one dude who never gets his shit done on time. And
I forgot about
driving in the car.
Yes, I forgot about that episode.
Him, right?
Forgot about that episode.
And like everybody dies.
Yeah,
like, everybody
everyone
and
dies.
You're like, what the fuck is going on? And then finally we come back into the main story, right?
Yeah.
And we have the inspectors. Manu was still fucking insane.
Yeah, don't they get fired? They're fired.
Yeah, and then Keiichi is just like, he's now working in construction.
Because the fake Little Slugger died.
Yeah, exactly.
He was killed in his cell.
Yeah.
Which I still...
By Little Slugger.
Yeah, but then...
Who look exactly the same. Anyway, so, Keiichi's wife, this episode centers on her.
Yeah.
Right, I believe it's episode...
this one's awesome, too.
10. Yeah, because you said 8, 9, 10. Yeah, this is 10. And she's just like sitting there in front of Little Slugger. She's dying, right?
Yeah.
She has a disease, and she's just like, I'm not afraid of you. I know what you feed on. And it's like, when she says that, you're like and he's massive at this point.
He's growing bigger and bigger, getting more
like
vicious.
Physically.
Yeah.
And you're
more
like,
vicious, more animalistic.
That's it. And you're like, okay, so he's actually metaphorical.
Yeah, he's not real.
And he's been growing, and that's why we were given those 3 episodes.
Yeah.
He's become a manifestation, but where did he come from? Why all of a sudden? And this is the last answer that we need answered. And so she's kind of standing up to him. He ends up leaving. Manuwa shows up. And then Keiichi left his construction job, the other inspector.
Yeah.
And he went off somewhere, and then he ends up in like some parallel world.
Yes.
From like his past.
Yeah, we can talk about the parallels later on.
Yeah.
Because everyone has their own parallel world.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't take note of.
No? Okay.
No.
I'll explain it later.
Okay. But anyway, he ends up in this parallel world where he has like no problems. Essentially, he's back in his original hometown, and Moromi is what happens with Moromi again? I believe
he was like a dog that
he's like getting super big, and like everybody's obsessed with him.
Yeah,
and
we didn't explain this at first, but Moromi's like a character that the main character has made up.
Yeah, it's a drawn character.
It's like Hello Kitty mostly, and it's such like a huge character, and everyone loves it, and the company that supports like Moromi wants a new character. Yeah. So they're telling the main character,
they're telling Tsukunosagi,
can you make someone new? And she's like freaking out, like I don't know what to do. And that's when she gets hit by little slugger.
Yeah, exactly.
And then goes to the hospital.
Or gets hit by a little slugger
to get out. Now she's like dazed and like screwed up. So now she has some more time to make a new character.
But she hears Moromi talking to her the entire time. And so
the animation of Moromi is creepy, but it's so well done.
And then Tsukunosagi and Moromi end up in Keiichi's world, in his parallel world, and he snaps out of it, essentially, because Maniwa's, like, trying to find him, and all the while, like, this black wave of crap is coming across the city, and you're like, what the hell is going on? It's killing everybody. Everybody's dying, and like we said, guys, it's really weird, and you got to watch it to understand. And then we get the big reveal, which is that when Maniwa went to go talk to Tsukunosagi's father, he found out that he's the actual best inspector. He's the best detective in the fucking world, because he finds out everything, and he's like, okay, Tsukunosagi, I know you had a dog named Moromi. I know you let it die because you stopped paying attention for a couple of seconds, and he ran in front of a car and got hit. Yeah. And I know you told your father that it was somebody with a baseball bat that
roller skates.
Yeah, that came and hit him. And basically, she created the entity that was Little Slugger in her head. And over time,
it just got popular. Yeah. And people started
Moromi
to attach
started getting more popular.
So she did her job. Yeah. She made another character who's has the same appeal as Moromi, but in a different way. Yeah. Which is awesome. I love that about this series.
Yeah. She made up both in her head, right? Because Moromi was her replacement for her actual dog named Moromi. And then Little Slugger was the manifestation of her creation, her lie that she told, and this thing just feeds off, this thing known as Little Slugger feeds off of everybody's insecurities and problems and like mental disorders and whatever, what have you. And it just grew bigger and bigger and bigger and started engulfing the entire city, and it was going to engulf the world until Tsukunosagi comes to terms with the fact that she lied and that she needs to move on from her dog that she let die. Yeah. Essentially. And it's really weird, the fact that it comes down to just like this little past event that happened, and all of these massive
things are happening just because of this one thing
as a result of it. But it's insane when you actually see the scene where she's apologizing to her dog and like she's over herself, like in the past.
Okay, yeah, I remember.
That's the scene that like hit me emotionally, because I was like, shit, all of this comes down to this one little moment, and she's just apologizing to her dog, which she should have done years ago rather than hiding it. And she's just like, I'm sorry, I let you die.
It's just a culmination of her grief over time.
Exactly. Like, and now she's good all of a sudden. You know? So somebody finally like told her, like, because she's been bottling it up all this time. She hasn't told anybody that she let the dog die, even though her dad knew the entire time. He didn't do right as a father, because he let that like simmer and like really mess her up all that time into adulthood. So. Yeah, that's it. Anyway, the entire series culminates to that one moment, and when you hit that one moment, you're like,
yeah, exactly. You're just like, it all makes sense now.
That's it. And so, as a result of that moment, I was like, okay, this series is kind of cool, because it really shows you how one little event can turn into something massive in the future, and it really reflects on the human complex a lot.
I enjoyed the how media can spread
Yeah.
And just like change everyone's perspective, and like
Yeah.
also I like the urban legend aspect to this as well.
Exactly. Because obviously this is not something that would happen in real life, but it's good metaphor for everything that happens. Realistically.
I could see this happening in real life.
What, a huge massive black wave engulfing everybody?
No, but like an urban legend, maybe.
Yes, an urban legend, yes,
Like
but something that
something-
actually takes physical form as a result.
No, that's all happening in their
that's what I'm
mind.
saying.
That's happening in their minds.
Yeah. No, but I think it actually happens because it's anime, it's actually happening, but it's like an extremist metaphorical way of representing it, right?
Yes.
But it actually does happen in the anime because they're like climbing out of the black goop and they're like, what the hell?
No, I don't think that's
destroyed.
real. I don't think that's real
I think
at
it
all.
is.
No.
I think at that point
Because the city's fine after. It's all metaphor.
No, it took rebuilding.
It
They
wasn't-
say it. Yeah,
okay, then-
after 2
okay,
years
then-
of rebuilding.
Okay, then never mind. Then yes.
Yes, it actually does happen, which
Okay.
is why I was like, that's really cool. Because the entire time I was like, this is just a metaphor, and then it's like, oh crap, this
No,
is
it's
actually
real.
happening in the anime.
Okay, I didn't remember
So,
that. Okay, that's
yeah,
cool.
that's what I liked about it. The characters are awesome. I really like them, especially...
No, I hate them. I hate all of them. They're horrible people.
Not all of them.
A lot of them are.
A lot of them are, yeah. A lot of them do.
This
stupid
is
shit,
a dis-
but it's a reflection on the human complex, and that's what I mean by I like them.
No, I like
I
this.
don't like them as people. I like them as characters.
Me too.
Yeah. So,
I think this anime is really interesting. The art style, because like
Yeah.
they are not nice looking characters.
No.
They look like humans.
they look gruesome.
Like
yeah.
some people are hideous. Like
Yeah.
that cop man
Yeah.
reflects him how he's just disgusting.
There's not one attractive person except for maybe like Maria.
Yeah, but
Or
that's
Michono when she's in Maria form, but that's really it. Everybody else looks really gross
yep.
and normal. that's pretty much it.
But the director who makes the series, all of his characters usually look like that.
Oh really?
He directed Perfect Blue as well,
Oh.
which is probably my favorite anime movie.
Okay,
So that's why I watched this series, because I knew he made it.
I see.
So
I had heard about an anime where somebody goes around swinging a bat at people.
So have I, and I was like, this sounds awesome. I
Yeah.
want to see what this is about.
And then it didn't turn out to be what I thought it was going to be.
Me either.
Yeah. But when the thing is, when I turned on the anime, I saw the OP and then I saw the first opening scene. I was like, it makes sense why it's called Paranoia Agent, because right away I get that feeling of paranoia
Yeah, for sure.
when I start watching it. So it's well titled. I think they do a good job with the messages that they're trying to get across. If you're paying attention to what's actually happening,
This is something you need to like be in.
yeah,
you need
be
to watch
focused.
and like.
Exactly, and that's why it's tough for me having split it up, because if I don't have a fresh idea of what happened in the last episode constantly then I get lost in
Okay.
a way. Which is why it was tough for me to finish the series. It took me like 3 weeks, and it's only 12 episodes.
Oh wow.
So it's it was quite a bit. I would do like you said, 2 to 3 episodes at a time, but I split it over 3 weeks.
Okay.
So it was a lot harder, but I did get through it, and I was content with the ending to the point where I gave it an 8, because the way that it really comes in and fixes everything that I had a problem with, I was really happy with that. And I was not expecting that to happen. I was not expecting for the issues that I had to be resolved the way that they were, and so quickly and suddenly, the way that they were in the final episode.
Yeah,
So,
I was like, "Where's this going?" Like halfway through, I'm like, "Is it gonna end
Yeah,
properly? Am I
that's
gonna
it.
understand everything, or am I
That's
gonna be
it.
left like, But everything tied up nicely, and I was
It
like,
did.
"This is very interesting." So I want to try to tell you about the reality versus fantasy aspect
Okay,
to
yeah.
it, because I don't know their names, so I'm just gonna.
Okay, yeah.
The first character, the main character, she has her
Soggy, yeah.
real life boring job, and she makes the fantasy of Little Slugger. That's an easy one.
right, and Marone
Yeah.
as well.
The little kid who looks like Little Slugger.
Yeah,
What's his name? Yuichi.
yeah.
He has his fantasy world that he makes like, I'm the best,
Yeah.
I'm super
And everybody
awesome,
looks up to me. He's always smiling.
and he's
Yeah, I
smiling and
got
does ding.
you. Yeah,
And then the reality is you're not that great. You're actually a real jerk.
yeah. You're a dick bag.
I was gonna say douchebag, but
Yeah.
we do swear here.
Yeah,
R-rated. He's awful.
yeah. He's the worst.
Then you got the cop.
Whoa, Harumi Chono first.
Okay, Maria.
Yeah,
Maria has her split
Double-
life.
yeah. Double
She's a
personality.
prostitute one way, and then she's trying to live a normal life with her.
I love that she has
with her husband.
conversations with herself over message.
The creepy,
message.
so creepy,
It's
so good.
so messed up.
And like yelling at her.
And you're like,
Who's the real one? Who's the
not
real?
not only that, but like when's somebody gonna come out and like snatch her from the
Yeah.
rack? But it's actually just always her, and it's like, I knew it was always just her,
Yeah.
right? But the way the camera angles are and everything, you always feel like there's somebody else in the room with her, and
Yeah.
that's the feeling you should get, because there is. there is always somebody else in the room with her, and it's herself.
I agree. This anime,
I love it.
This anime does great
Yeah.
things to your emotions and like
Yeah, it
makes you
does.
tense. It's Madako all over again.
Yeah, it really does.
This might be more disturbing than
It
Madoka
might.
in different ways.
Yeah, exactly.
Madoka does it in like the subversion of what
Yeah.
you expect.
Yeah.
This is just I don't feel good.
Yeah, at all times. Yeah.
So yeah, the cop, as we
Yeah.
saw, he's trying to be the best dad ever. In reality, he's a horrible person.
Yeah.
Spies on his daughter.
Yeah.
Prostitutes.
Yeah.
Yakuza, steals from people.
Yeah.
Horrible person.
Fucking worst.
The little slugger who's not actually little slugger.
Yeah.
He has the fantasy
he
world.
literally has an RPG game.
Yeah,
going
in
on
his
head,
brain,
yeah,
and then-
like D&D.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
in reality, he's just some guy who's hitting people with a baseball bat.
That's it. Well, he hit one person.
Yeah,
there,
one person.
But like he's seeing everything in this RPG
Yeah.
mode.
And then you got the detective as well.
Yeah.
Well, both detectives actually.
Yeah.
I'll do the younger one
Yeah.
first.
Manewa.
His reality, he is a detective just trying to find
Yeah.
out, and then his fantasy,
He's like a samurai.
he's
or
like a
something.
samurai trying to find out. He like reverted back to like his childhood.
Yeah.
And then at the end, he becomes like the old man scribbling.
He's the
note-
and he's the
notes-
most paranoid one.
Yes.
Out of everybody.
Which is so strange because I
Yeah.
didn't notice that like at first. I'm like, okay, and then all of a sudden
he
he's
was
like,
the most normal, and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, just boom.
yeah.
Yeah, and then you have the other
The other
detective.
cop who
yeah.
he's a cop as well, but he wants to return to a time where cops and villains were black and white.
Yeah.
There was no gray.
Yeah.
You were a bad guy or you were a good guy. That's
That's
when he
it. Mm-hmm.
has the conversation with the old ex-convict, and he was like, I was just stealing it and running away, and you're the cop coming after me. That's all it was. And that's where he goes back to like that feudal Japan
Yeah.
type of a look. I love that.
Yeah.
It was very cool.
And it was all like sort of like the labyrinths.
Yes,
in,
kind of.
In Monaco, sort of that pop-up feel, you know.
Yeah.
It looked really. It was animated differently than the rest of the
Yeah.
series. Like even he looked different than the rest of his surroundings. Basically, maybe not a pop-up book. Maybe that's the wrong word to use, but it's just like, I wanna go ahead and say Sakuga, even though I know that's probably not what it is. Sakuga is when something's animated differently than the rest of its show, right? The rest of the content.
Yeah.
So like when something's like elevated animation, like when you have a super fight scene in like One Punch Man, for example, when they're like
all the
clashing
lines
and
are
stuff.
crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That sort of thing. That's called Sakuga. So I wanna call it that, but I know it's not because it's not an elevation in animation. It's trying to make that difference,
Different, yeah.
that contrast. So,
But it was very interesting.
so
And
okay, so there's that.
it's mostly those characters. Like,
yeah, I think so. The
Like
old
the
woman
mains.
doesn't really have anything.
no, it's mostly the main cast. The side characters don't really.
Yeah.
Unless you compare, unless we can talk about the ghosts, they're actually ghosts, but they're fantasies that they're still alive.
Yeah,
but
that's it.
Doesn't really matter for those characters.
Yeah.
But it's mostly that main cast, and I really enjoy how artistic this anime is.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like this was something that was thought-provoking, made me think, made me on my edge of the seat, made me feel emotions, and that's what I really like in anime.
Yeah. Well, any art, I think art is defined by being able to convey emotion.
Yes.
That's what it should be. Music does that. It conveys emotion through lyrics, through sound, through tone. Anime does that in a very similar way through context, story, metaphor. Any story really, any form of film or written work does that way. So, but yeah, you're absolutely right. It does a really good job at that. It's not really a topic that we've gotten into on the channel too often.
Because we mostly do
we do reviews and
we're
we're
like shonen
this
stuff.
was awesome.
It was cool, but this is what I like
this
to
is
talk
good
about
for different reasons.
Yeah, I like to interpret stuff and like look into things more closely.
Yeah.
That's why it's more difficult to do discussions about this stuff because this is stuff you actually have to think about and like.
Yeah, exactly.
This is more for like sitting down and scripting, write a script and think it out. So
you could have gotten a really big script based on this anime easily. And I'm curious because I haven't actually done the research, but I want to see other YouTubers and how they.
I've seen
responded.
one.
Yeah.
Super Eye Patch Wolf.
Okay, so is that who gave you the idea to watch it?
No.
Okay, so you watched it after.
Something about some guy with a baseball bat. That's what I heard, and I was like,
and that was it. Okay.
That was it. And I was like, that sounds amazing. I'm watching it.
Wasn't that in another video that we all watched here?
Yes, it was.
What was it?
It might have been Super Eye Patch Wolf, but it's something else.
Yeah, it was Super Eye Patch Wolf, but it was, I think, the video about
horror, Junji
Ito, yeah,
maybe
that we watched with our buddy Derek. But yeah, so yeah, that is I need to see somebody else's reaction to this because I want to see like a scripted version about the series as a whole, because this is really just us spewing. This is our first real time talking about the series. I messaged Jake the night I finished watching it, and I told him that final moment, that pretty much solidified the series for me and also made everything make sense, did come and hit me emotionally. So that's really all we talked about.
We did
about the series.
We were saving it for this.
We really were. We didn't say anything, but it seems like we had all the same points. We
cool.
touched upon all the same things. I really didn't look into the fact that each person had a fantasy world. I thought that was really just a given because it made a lot of sense. Like everybody's paranoid, right? It's called Paranoia Agent. So I don't know.
I just feel like it's a very solid piece of work.
It is. It's
very solid.
I want to say it's almost not anime-esque.
It's not.
It's not like any other anime, I guess you could say. It's really tough to compare it to anything.
He has a lot of cool work.
Yeah. I guess I would have to watch Perfect Blue.
Yeah, I would like to talk to you about that.
Yeah, we'll probably do that at some point once I've actually watched it. It is on my list of to watch. But yeah, I gave it an 8. What did you give it?
9.
9? You give it that highest score? Okay. For me, I don't know. It was like I said, it was the difficulty of being able to not watch the series. At the same time, I wanted to watch it the whole way through, one shot. Yeah. Watch all 12 episodes in a row, find 4 hours to do so. But at the same time, it was so tough because an episode would end and I'd be like, what the hell just happened? And I had to like walk around and be like, I don't get it. Like, what is going on?
Look, it's also episodic.
It is.
It is. So you can just watch a few episodes here and there.
Especially for those 3 filler episodes. Those almost got me pissed. I was like, what is the point? Why are you wasting my time?
But now you understand what they'll...
it makes a lot of sense. I don't think 3 was necessary. Yeah. I think 2 would have been enough.
I would just like the Ghost and the etc. I love etc. Yeah. Etc. is so good.
Yeah, Ghost and etc. were so good. The one with the animation studio, it made sense in relation to the show because it like story-wise, it relates to the main character. Yeah. But I think that it was unnecessary.
Me too.
Just extra. I think that the series would have been perfect with 11 episodes and just cut that.
It's actually 13 episodes.
It is, so 12 would have been good. Yeah. So that's really it. I did enjoy it though. For me to give something an 8, I do have to appreciate it as a work. And
you prefer it over Cowboy Bebop?
I do.
There you go.
I do slightly. I think that it has more. It's story driven. It's not episodic, right? Yeah. It's not like 4 episodes of story and the rest is just random. It's a much bigger percentage, but I've said this to you personally. The anime that I have rated 7 or higher on my anime list are things that I would refer to people to watch.
Sorry, darling, in the Franks.
Obviously, in the 7, yeah, exactly. I gave that a 6. Obviously, in the 7s is stuff that is really, it has to be specific to the person.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good, but it has to be, like, I have to target it to people. As soon as I hit the 8, it's like, I can pretty much suggest this to anybody if they're looking for this type of anime. So, that's really how it is, and I would do that with Paranoia Agent. If you're looking for something that's going to make you uneasy, bingo.
You want something more darker, more, like, gritty. Something more adult too.
As well, yeah, definitely. That's absolutely.
I'm always looking for more adult anime. Yeah. I enjoy like shonen and stuff, but there are times where I'm just like, you know what? I want to see something a bit more intense, a bit more horror oriented as well, thriller.
Yeah. But, by the way, guys, if you want to check out our My Anime List pages, if ever you're curious, because I did bring it up. And you want to know what's on our lists, and if you don't want to necessarily wait for us to put out every single video that we're going to put out across time, and you want to go and see what we've already watched and maybe go and watch it as to prepare yourselves for future videos, then you can hit up our My Anime List pages. Jake is going to leave the links in the description down below.
I have a new profile picture.
You do? Yeah, I saw that. Who is that? Is that C2?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Mine is AsterJ_. It's my YouTube channel. You'll see the logo from my YouTube channel on there if you go. And Jake's is not Questy, so as we said, the links will be in the description. This is just in case you forget to put them for whatever reason. But yeah, so you guys know those are our My Anime List pages. So if you want to go and make comparisons to your own, add us as friends as well.
Recommend us stuff as well. I would love to talk about stuff you like.
Yeah, you can message us at any time. And
maybe we'll hate it, but maybe we'll love it. And
that's it.
We're always looking for new stuff to talk about.
Yeah, that's it. And by the time this video comes out, it'll probably be long enough that we haven't watched Paranoia Agent, that we'll be ready for another series similar to it. So if you have any suggestions as far as similar pieces of work that really give you the same feeling as Paranoia Agent, I'd love to see more. Maybe something done a little bit differently, you know, that doesn't drag out until the end to give you the resolve, right? So
I feel like this would be much more fun to watch a second time.
maybe, yeah, now that you know everything that's going on.
So now you can be like, oh, this is why this is happening.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I love animes like that.
Yeah, I get the same feeling sometimes even with Fairy Tail. I've been watching it recently, and I'm like, oh my god, that's like, really important.
I'll bring up something right now. I was watching an episode of Skypiea, and Sanji was like, oh, I'm from the North Blue. And I'm just like...
Isn't he?
Yes, but he says it right away.
Does he say it in the original?
Yes.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure he says it in the original. He says it in the manga.
Oh,
he says, "Oh, I'm from the North Blue."
Okay, who does he say that to?
Nami,
Well,
because they're talking about Noland, and it's like it's a big story in the North Blue.
Oh,
and Sanji's like, "I'm from the North Blue. I read that story like a million times," and I'm like,
now,
which is amazing, which is so good.
Yeah, so things like that. That's really cool. So it's probably a really good anime to rewatch. So we'll probably have to do that at some point. That we have to like give ourselves a schedule of things we need to rewatch and do that whenever we have time off.
Look. 5 years from now.
Yeah. There is a rewatch option on my anime list, actually.
Okay.
So there's a way to do that if you want to rewatch stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, so guys, if you have anything to suggest to us, anything similar to Paranoia Agent, then definitely leave them in the comments down below or hit us up on My Anime List. If you do not have a My Anime List account yet, by the way, it's kind of a plug. I guess I'm advertising.
Yeah.
Make one if you want to keep track of every anime that you're watching.
It helps so much, like incredibly.
It really does, and it's fun to compete with your friends to see who
it is.
Because we literally do that between ourselves. I've kind of like fallen off at this point, and Jake's kind of kept going.
After I got Dragon Ball Z on, you were crushed.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I had Inuyasha that wasn't originally there, and then I added it and I caught back up.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. Definitely go and check out My Anime List, and tell us what you thought about Paranoia Agent. If you have watched it, if you haven't, go and check it out.
Yep.
Come back to the video and let us know. But as usual, guys, that's gonna be it for us on Down the Weeble Hole. We wish you a great day. Thanks for watching.
It's gonna be Halloween soon, probably.
Yeah, probably by the time this comes out.
So we will promise you ghost stories.
Yes, we need to
October 31st.
Ghost stories.
Wednesday special.
And you guys,
discussion.
It's purely comedy, so we're gonna be laughing the whole time. So be looking out for that.
Be sure to watch Ghost Stories yourself. English dub.
Yeah, absolutely.
You need to watch the English dub of Ghost Stories.
The sub does not work.
Yeah,
because the sub is serious. The dub is a shit show.
You need to do this.
You need to do it. So I don't know exactly when this is coming out, but you guys know October 31st. That's when Ghost Stories is coming out. That's how long you have to watch it. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, if this is your first time here, or even if it's not. And we will catch you guys next time. Ciao.
You're welcome.